With a single strike, China will launch swarms of hundreds of advanced hypersonic missiles. These swarms will travel at speeds multiple times faster than the speed of sound. Over thousands of miles, they will pound American aircraft carriers and other large ships operating off the coasts of the South China Sea and the East China Sea. American destroyers and fleets will not withstand the attack and will be swallowed by the sea. This is a simulation by Vanity Fair magazine, concluding that this is what the initial moments of the next aircraft carrier war between the Dragon and Uncle Sam will look like, after China practiced targeting its anti-aircraft missiles at models simulating American aircraft carriers and achieved astonishing results. The matter of the aircraft carrier war does not end here, of course, but before all this, let us introduce you to this new Chinese beast, the J-35 fighter. Chinese by nationality, from the Dragon lineage. Its profession is the first stealth naval aircraft for Beijing, date and place of birth. It began as a fetus in 2012 and was just born in 2024. Soon it will be aboard all aircraft carriers. Its mission is to become the direct rival to the famous American stealth fighter, the F-35. Distinguishing marks. It looks almost identical to the F-35 in size and shape, but it's more advanced and more destructive. Prejudiced record. Accused by America of being a mere piracy by the Dragon of Uncle Sam's planes. Siblings. Unique, with no brothers or sisters, although it is a naval modification of the FC-31 or J-31 Gyrfalcon, China's fifth-generation stealth aircraft. The mother? Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, one of China's most mysterious armament projects. The ultimate goal? To conquer America in the fiercest aircraft carrier and naval fighter war the planet has ever known. That was a brief introduction to the new Chinese fighter's identity. What comes next are astonishing details about a Chinese fighter whose first public appearance after completion was at the World Defense Show in Saudi Arabia. China made no secret that it was designed specifically to defeat the highly popular American fifth-generation aircraft, the F-35. If the West, especially America, put their hand on their heart when China began developing the J-35, the second Chinese fifth-generation fighter, how will it be when it enters service to enhance the capabilities of Chinese aircraft carriers after the other Chinese stealth aircraft, the J-20, was not qualified to operate on aircraft carriers? In a quick historical overview, the J-35 was first unveiled as a scaled model at the Zhuhai Air Show in 2012, then underwent development stages until it reached critical testing phases when models were placed on the first Chinese aircraft carrier, Liaoning. Today, the Chinese aircraft carriers Liaoning and Shandong only operate Shenyang J-15 fighters, which are the Chinese-made versions of the Russian Su-33 fighter, making them fourth-and-a-half-generation aircraft. Meanwhile, the J-35 is a fifth-generation stealth fighter that can also operate on China's next-generation carriers, especially the third Chinese aircraft carrier, Fujian, which is still under construction. It's much more advanced compared to the first two carriers, as it's equipped with electromagnetic catapults similar to advanced American carriers. Returning to the J-35, it made its first flight on October 29, 2021, and is characterized by catapult launch technology and wing folding mechanisms to be stored on aircraft carriers. It will be capable of operating with the electromagnetic aircraft launch system. Information about the aircraft indicates that it will be capable of handling a payload of 18,000 pounds and has 6 hardpoints capable of carrying 13,000 pounds. The main weapons of the aircraft include the short-range PL-10 missile and the medium-range air-to-air PL-12 missile. To redistribute tasks within the Chinese Naval Air Force, the J-35 will focus on air superiority and penetrating enemy defenses, while the J-15 will continue its role in aircraft carrier groups, benefiting from its large payload capacity in performing anti-ship and attack missions. Thus, China will become like America, combining the 4th generation F-18 fighter with a 5th generation F-35G fighter. Because Americans have long underestimated the Chinese threat, it seems they have awakened today to the reality that China has 3 aircraft carriers. They must think a lot, especially about the third one, not only because it's more advanced and larger than the first and second, but also because it's preparing to be equipped with stealth fighters comparable to the American counterparts. Although information about the J-35 is still scarce, it can be compared with the F-35 based on available information, which indicates that the Chinese J-35 fighter is faster than the American F-35, but has less range. The Chinese J-35 fighter also has 2 engines, each producing kilonewtons of thrust in dry power together and in afterburner together, compared to the single engine of the F-35, which produces 125 kilonewtons in dry thrust and 191 in afterburner. The Chinese J-35 fighter is also equipped with an advanced active electronically scanned array radar that rivals the superiority of American 5th generation fighter radars. In terms of maneuverability, it seems that the Chinese fighter is more agile than its American counterpart. Of course, the matter is not limited to the development of the first Chinese stealth naval fighter. The advanced Chinese military technology now poses a significant threat to American aircraft carriers as a whole, raising concerns in Washington, which has always considered aircraft carriers as tools of geopolitical influence through the largest number of aircraft carriers in the world, with 11 carriers. However, China, which is close to completing its 3rd carrier and has started building the 4th, is not hiding this only from America, but is also seeking to surpass it, not only by constructing aircraft carriers, but also by searching for ways to eliminate its competitor. While the United States accumulates the largest fleet of advanced aircraft carriers in the world, despite the fact that building one costs several $billion and takes years, an aircraft carrier remains, in the end, just a ship with a hull, screws, a bow, and a stern. Ships, of course, are sinkable, especially when targeted by weapons specifically designed to sink ships. This is what China is preparing for by developing technology specifically designed to sink American aircraft carriers. What increases the anxiety, fears, and perhaps obsession in America is that China is not only accumulating medium-range missiles, hypersonic missiles, a massive arsenal of ballistic missiles, and land, sea, and air cruise missiles designed to target American aircraft carriers and achieve deadly results, but it's also conducting continuous drills simulating the sinking of American aircraft carriers. Here we can listen to what Chinese military analysts say openly. If we sink one of America's carriers, it will cause a loss of lives equal to 5,000 people, and if we sink 2, the losses will be 10,000 people. Don't you think America will become scared? Not only scared, but will also withdraw after such a loss.